What's up, hard chargers? It's Al Cohen here with Catboy, aka
Kyle Miller.
Kyle Miller. And Kyle, why are you dressed up as Catboy today?
Because it's Halloween. And you took my intro.
I don't know. Is it your intro or are other people allowed to do the intro from time to time?
A gentleman that I was in the service with made it up. So it's his.
All right, fine. So you do have exclusive rights to What's Up, Hard Chargers.
You know what? Stolen valor on your side.
Okay, I feel like that's a bad thing. No, I don't want that. Anyway, yes, it is Halloween. And we're here celebrating at AFP Ohio by talking about what we think is scary about Ohio policy.
Last week it was baloney. This week it's scary. You're doing good.
What?
You're doing good.
We're being topical.
I know.
We're a part of the zeitgeist, Kyle. Like this, that's what this is about.
Well, what scares me is that people don't know that they can actually make an impact on. And I think that we talked last week about everything that's baloney, the ed choice not being ESAs at this point when you got other states that are completely and totally universal. We talked about how Ohio's on a good trajectory in order to we already flattened the income tax, wanting to eliminate it. We know that it's scary how many political subdivisions we have in Ohio, but I think that if we could take the time today to just talk about the importance of getting involved and what we're doing to create the opportunity for that. Did you see the text messages from Jen Kiko over in Stark County last night?
I did. So she had like Senator Timken and a couple other state reps come out, and she had like a pretty decent crowd, right?
Yeah. So we got a picture in there for it, I'm sure. But that was in Stark County, and she had, I think, 5 new people show up last night to the chapter. So I want to, let's talk about chapters. You really help with those a lot. What are you seeing out there as the belly button, so to speak, of the organization here?
Yeah, I mean, our chapters are the way that we've organized our grassroots operation. That is how we power change throughout Ohio. So the idea behind that is that if we've got people in all 88 counties, then we have an army that we can call upon to take action when, say, a certain representative, that represents a part of Ohio, we need them to hear from their constituents. We're able to do that. We're able to mobilize quickly because we already have a group of people in that area that can respond. So our chapters are really the heartbeat of Team Ohio.
Yeah, and I think that our volunteers are finding a lot of fulfillment in it. I mean, they're taking on leadership roles. And a lot of our best volunteers that have been with our chapters for a couple of years, some of our long-standing chapters, 2-3 years in a row, they don't come from the party. They don't come from politics. They actually were just frustrated and confused and thought that they were just at the mercy of it all. And now they're feeling really empowered. They're giving testimony up at the State House. They're coming to award ceremonies, praising some of those elected officials who've done the hard stuff and the right stuff. So I think they're finding a lot of fulfillment there. And I just would challenge you, if you're out there and you're watching this, it's good to have knowledge of what's going on out there for us to talk about how great Ohio could be or how bad some things are right now. But, doing something about it's the part that's the most exciting.
And grassroots work does make a difference, right? I think what's scary to me is the apathy that I think people can feel. And like you were talking about, like they don't feel like they're in control of the situation. You think that it's all like the lobbyists, like going back and forth and, making all these like machinations behind the scenes. And of course that stuff happens too. But in my experience, our lawmakers are beholden to their constituents and listen when a group of them speak. And so at the end of the day, they need to get elected. They need these people's votes. And so it is extremely powerful when you have that like grassroots message to back up whatever is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, me and Adam Bowling, he's our Dayton guy down in the southern part of the state, covers like Greene County, Montgomery County, Butler County. But we were at Cedarville University for a Christian business leaders training summit that was 2 days long. And prior state rep Jenna Powell was there. And she had a section about politics and getting involved. And she had a really great story about how 13 people, I thought this was really great the way she put this. She said that there are 99 representatives in the House, 33 in the Senate in Ohio. And these 13 people, I think it was 13 moms. I can't even remember what the policy was. I kind of came in late, but these 13 moms came up and said, we think that you guys should pass this kind of law. And I can't even remember what it was about, but it was really interesting because she said, think about this. 99 elected officials sat there and talked about a policy that was going to impact 11 plus million Ohioans because of 13 people. 13 people were able to make conversation about a law that was going to impact 11 plus million people. 13 people is all it took. I thought that was a really great way of breaking it down of how impactful just a small group of people can be, right?
And we're doing it. We're doing it, but now's the time to get involved. Now's the time while we're experiencing all this growth across the state.
Yeah, and I think the asset that we bring to the table for everybody is the Hannah Cubbins of the world, right? We got a Hannah Cubbins. You got a Hannah Cubbins. You ain't got a Hannah Cubbins. We got a Hannah Cubbins. We got a Tim Ross. We have a Holly Roberts. We have an Adam Bowling. We got a Matt Hurley. We got a Allison Cohen. All of these folks are full-time employees that are able to support and make strategy and come up with tactics and help to employ all of that, so that all you got to do is show up and understand and then be willing to participate. And so, that's what we're bringing to the table. Hannah, if you have your own group locally, let's say, and let's even say there's 80 of you that meet on the regular, you meet, you talk about things, you bring in guest speakers. Politicians would be fine with coming and speaking to you because they know there's a lot of you there. But outside of those four walls, a lot of groups struggle to be able to understand what to do, even if they were willing to do it. And so what we bring to the table is that action piece. So we will do everything those other groups do. We can bring in an elected official. We can bring in a guest speaker. But the piece that we also bring in is, this is what they said is going on. Here's what we're going to do.
Do you want to talk about the GGL stuff?
Yeah. So, one way that we're investing in other groups to try to bring them alongside us in that action piece is we're doing a Grow Grassroots Leaders training / summit November 14th and 15th. So we pay for the meals, we pay for the hotel room. It's there in Columbus. Not just anybody can do it though. You would need to email us at info@afphq, and we'll have that somewhere in here. I'm sure Al will do some magic there. Email us. Tell us why you think that you could be impactful if you were just equipped with all the things that it took to take action, and we can consider that application. We only have so many seats available, and it's going to our already existing coalition partners. But long story short, they're going to train them on how to inculcate that action culture into their groups, the way that we've been doing it with ours. So you want to have your own group, you don't want to do our thing, that's fine. We can train you, and then hopefully we can partner up on the things we agree on.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. And, depending on how successful this is, depending on how many inquiries you get, maybe we'll do some of this again, in a few months.
That's right. Might be too late for this, but do you think people are going to take you seriously if you're wearing that Catboy mask? I'm just kidding.
It was me the whole time.
Oh my God! I can't believe it! Kyle! That's so weird. This, Catman was, talking this whole time.
No, no.
Well, anyway.
Oh.
You sure seem to know a lot more about your job than you did. No,
yeah. You never see me and him in the same place at the same time.
Oh God, it's so spooky.
No, I know that we're running short on time here because Al still has to. We have to keep this short enough where Al can edit it. But I would say my last thing to you is, regardless of your age, depending on what season you're at in life, we need you. And by we, I mean Ohioans, Americans, we need you. So for those of you that think you're too old, I would say that with life comes wisdom, and we could use that wisdom. Bring that to us, and we can direct that at making some really purposeful changes in these seasons of your life. And if you're young and you think that you're too uneducated or not knowledgeable enough, we can help fill in any of those gaps that you might think that you have, and provide all of that stuff to you. The one thing that you have that you can bring to the table is that sweat equity. You have a lot of freedom of movement. You have the ability to go out on the weekends and stuff. You haven't yet formed a lot of those obligations and commitments yet that some of the folks later in life, end up doing. And for those of you who are in those stages of life where you're busy, I get it. I would say this: there's all kinds of things you can make time for. You get to choose what community you live in, what church you go to, don't go to, who you marry, how many kids you have, whether you have kids at all, what business you frequent, all of this. These are all choices that you get to make. Even if you don't show up, politics will impact you. Policy will impact you. So maybe you can't come every 2 weeks, but if you could come once a month, and maybe you can't volunteer every time, but if you can volunteer 20% of the time, we will be appreciative of that, and it will make a difference. And so regardless of what season you're in, regardless of how you feel about yourself, we think that you are very impactful and very worthwhile, and we'd love to invest in you.
That's beautiful, Kyle. Let's
Thank
end it
you.
there.
I'm known
Ready?
for my beauty. Yep, let's end it there. Keep charging hard, hard chargers.